Dennis. Is this a lot different? The experience level coming into this year, can you tell, or just as far what they know and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest difference. I think we are able to move faster within our defensive scheme
Mm-hmm.
because of the knowledge. We have a room full of guys who's this is like our basically our third go around of the winter to springtime,
Mm-hmm.
and just having the understanding of like the technique that we've been trying to get across and having those live game reps and multiple practice reps has allowed us to move to that next level defensive scheme wise for sure and technique wise for the most part.
And you could see that coming like the last half of last season for you because the pass rush seemed to get a lot better.
Correct. We started to understand where we fit within each call, whether it was run or pass, our rush lanes, the technique we want to work within those rush lanes, and the calls execute them. If you got to contain, you got to get contained. If you're an A area rusher, you're an A area rusher, and like just understanding those basic principles, okay, to be successful within the defense.
What's the next step for the D line? Do you think this coming up here?
And so we talked about this literally since we got up here, right? We wanted to lead from the front. And so the leadership aspect for the whole team, we lost a lot of guys that were skill players this past year. Obviously, they're coming back. They're doing pro day and stuff tomorrow, linebackers, DBs, and receivers and stuff, and just filling in the void leadership-wise up front. And big men leading the way. And I think if we can take that step as a unit, we'll be a lot better as a whole team.
When you got big guys inside like Apu, Chidi, guys like that, how does it help these guys, these ends?
Well, obviously, if you're big up front, right, in the middle, like the core of your defense, like you can't be single blocked, right? So you're going to account for doubles and sometimes triples against some teams, and they allow those guys who are skilled, and they're big too, but they're probably a little bit more skillful in speed, like to get one-on-one blocks. And I think sometimes towards the last season, you saw a lot of guys doubling inside. It allowed us to get some free one-on-ones on the outside, and we got to be able to win our one-on-one. So that big presence inside allow those guys to kind of get those one-on-one blocks, and they have to win them.
In terms of just how football is being played right now, and it seems like every quarterback can run and break out of the pocket, maybe even more so than like 5 or 10 years ago. Does that change how you guys have had to maybe coach the D line and the way that guys rush and things and how that's developed?
I mean, absolutely. If one person's out of their rush lane, it's going to be exposed. And you could play any team in our conference. Every quarterback can run. Everyone can take it the distance. And so if you're not playing with discipline and speed, especially on the edges, and accounting for the quarterback within the rush lane, then you'll get burned. So you have to, every call that we have, we take that into account, how we fit in the pass rush lane. So that's a huge part of what we do.
Would your plan be to kind of rotate guys, or do you want to find,
Yeah, the more people you can play up front, the better you are. You got to get everyone to that playing level. So if we could rotate 8, 9 guys, then we're playing at a high level. Guys taking like 30 snaps or less per game. The fourth quarter back in, we're rolling. And so that trust factor, and again, it kind of goes in what we kind of talked about earlier. Like this is like going into year 3, and guys being familiar with the technique, guys being familiar with the scheme, and just the whole room as a whole, just being on the same page and playing all at the same level, so there's no drop off when anyone comes in, allows you to be lead up front.
I feel like the guys are elevating each other with, kind of competing with each other every day.
This spring, I've probably seen that more so than I have this whole time here. Kind of guys picking up guys challenging guys, guys pushing, younger guys who may not have had that type of experience to come along just a little bit quicker than probably they're used to. And I think that comes with confidence and the amount of reps that they had doing it. You know what I mean? So the more comfortable they are and the better they are, and they put it on tape and you can come and see it. And I think that's kind of raising the level to play in the room.
How do you balance when you have that much experience, maybe inventing new areas of things that you can do or ways that you can kind of progress what they know versus also being like, oh, well, they already know this facility, so we can get so much better at those types of kind of basic areas.
So Coach Veranda does a thing where we talk about rage to master and always being a learner and never a knower. So it's almost like you can't do it correct enough or to the exactness. So you're raging every day to unlock another level of mastery is what it amounts to. And so we're pushing that even in our most simple of techniques. If it's just a simple like reach block, how can I get my pads lower? Can I get out my stance faster? Can I get extension quicker? And so we're always pushing even in the most simple aspects of defensive line play.